Hi guys, it's me, Carrie, and today on Silver Linings I had Jason back, and we got an opportunity to talk to your animals. Many of you submitted questions that you wanted answers from your pets, and I chose to kind of stick with the more specific questions. I should have been more clear myself when I said, "You want a message from your pet?" Because when people did ask, "Do I have a message from my pet?" the pets basically just threw a bunch of love our way. So I just answered all of those questions with love. Just a little shout out to you guys, and that's enough because just the intent and thoughts are energy. So I'm 100% convinced that all of the people that wrote their questions about their pets were in tune with that and they were sending love. That is my firm belief. Some of the questions that we answered could apply to many pets, so it's worth the watch. And if nothing else, Jason and I are certainly entertaining. I love watching that guy, and it was fun seeing him experiment with energies that he never really thought to do before. For example, somebody wanted to connect with dinosaurs. So Jason found a stegosaurus for us to talk to. So find out what goes on in the thoughts of a stegosaurus. And also we kind of discuss a way in which you can use animals to provide like a sign or sometimes what I like to call a God wink. So pay attention to find out how you can use animals to connect with your loved ones. That was kind of interesting. And mostly just have fun with this. This one wasn't a real big, in-depth and, what's a good word? It wasn't a real big learning opportunity. It wasn't a lot of new information, but it was just messages from our fur babies. And speaking from experience, I never had a dog before. This is my first dog, Soba, and I can't believe, I hear it all the time, but until you get yourself a dog, you just have no idea how much you're going to fall in love with them. My dog is my baby. I call her Dog Baby. Come here, Dog Baby. She's so sweet. So I hope you enjoy this episode of Silver Linings, and if it, maybe we'll do it again one day, and I'll have more structured methods of asking questions. But until then, enjoy this one. It was really fun for us both. Thanks, guys. Okay, hi Jason, how you doing?
Hey, Gary, I'm good.
What is going on over there that you're fussing?
My cat, Mona, is going crazy. I'm like, I'm loving on you. Like, I'm loving on you. Don't bite me.
I'm loving on you. Don't bite me.
Like, I get it. She doesn't really have hands, right?
Right?
She has paws, but so
does she nibble on you to get affection?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know that nibble. Okay, so I think I have a theory that your cat's going nutters because she's got something to say and she knows she's going to have her chance in just a few minutes because we are going to talk to the animals today.
She's very much a lap kitty anyways, but anytime that I'm like recording or on Facebook Live or doing anything like this, I think I feel like she gets jealous.
She's like a toddler. She needs all your attention.
Yeah. I think it's a jealousy and like a protection type thing.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
This is my daddy, you guys. I'm gonna take good care of him. Okay, I'll have to tell you a story. I already sort of told you, but I'm gonna tell you the rest of it. But last week I went out shopping with my girl Layla. She just wanted to get out of the house, and we had this little cutesy touristy town called Old Town Spring, and she just wanted to look in the shops. And while I was walking in those shops, I found something that was just so Jason. And it's hard to buy a dude a gift. What do you get a guy? So this is what I got for you. Hang on. Oh, she put it in a little bag. That's so cute. And then later on, I was looking at the internet. Okay, I shouldn't start that story till I get this out here. But look how cutie. It's a little teeny tiny red bird. And it came with, I know that's so cute. I'm gonna put them right up here. And so now I have to come to your house so that I could give you your
hand deliver, yes.
Because it will be way too pricey to ship something so huge. Okay, and it says it's the lucky little cardinal. Little cardinal will bring you good luck and renewed faith in all that you do. Find your life song, show gratitude each day, and believe
and have hope that the cardinal will lead the way. And the reason I got that was because you have that red bird that visits you.
Yeah. My grandmother.
Is it your grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then the bird, I told you not only that, I found this bird for you, but I had a little meme that showed up in my feed, and I'm going to send you it, or maybe I'll use it as our thumbnail. But it was about a little cardinal and his mohawk. So I was like, oh my gosh, that is so Jason. and then I don't know, not an hour later, you messaged me and said, hey, I'm up for, hanging out on Silver Linings again. And I was so grateful for this because I didn't have anything next. So I was like, this is just meant to be. I'm getting nudged left and right. And then here he is. So thanks, universe.
Right.
Redbird Grandma. And thanks, Jason.
Yeah, I got the chill bumps really bad.
Really? I just dropped all my papers. Keep talking. Okay, so tell me.
It's how do so I feel like I kind of want to explain. So I'm a firm. Well, there was a point in time to where like I never thought that it would be a possibility. I guess like it was way easier to think of, oh, I can talk to this dead person versus an animal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so much like I'm talking to my cat here, but the first time that I was like, holy shit, did that just happen? My friend Jessica and I went over to, we know these two ladies that they love to do like ghost hunting. So like they'll go to people's houses and stuff. They've got some of the fancy equipment. So I met them when I did a group reading over at Jessica's mom's house. And so they were like, hey, come ghost hunting with us. And so me and Jessica are like, yeah, like, let's go. Like,
yeah.
Ghostbusters. So we went over to one of their houses and I did the whole walkthrough thing, told her some stuff. And then we're sitting on the couch just chatting afterwards, and I felt something and it was so weird. It wasn't weird. I don't know how to describe it. I wish I had the words to describe it. I could, how like you can feel someone staring at you and you turn around and they're staring at, okay.
Right.
So it was like I could feel like I felt something down by my leg, right? Like I just felt it. Like I felt it brush up against my leg or whatever. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so then I'm like, okay, this is a dog. Like, I don't know how you can just tell, right? You just know. Like,
I understand that. There's no like messages. You just somehow know.
Right, you just know. And so like she sees me looking all crazier than I normally do. And I'm sitting here waving my hand, like I've got my hand off the couch, like petting
it, right? Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? And she's like, what? And I was like, this is gonna sound crazier, right? And she was like, no, what? She's like, just what? Because she trusted me, right? She was like, what is it? I said, there's a dog. There's like a little dog. And she was like, okay, go ahead. And I was like, Lucy. And she was like, oh my God, yes, my dog Lucy. And it was the coolest. Like it shocked me just as much as it shocked her. And then, so it's happened a few times where like I'll be talking to somebody about somebody, and then I'm like, it's a fucking animal, and it's always a dog. I feel it's never really cats. Or when it's for other people, like it's always the dogs. It's crazy. I guess
maybe because cats are all aloof and they don't give a shit.
Yeah. So yeah, it's happened a few times where I've been like, and I'll start talking about somebody or something, because some people name their dogs like human names, and like, who is this? And they're thinking, the only person I have. But then I'm like, holy shit, this is an animal. Like it's an animal. But they communicate. It's the same way that the dead people communicate, or maybe it's just the way that I get it. Like the information, it's no different. Like if I didn't feel like that had been a dog,
you would have thought it was a people.
I would have thought it was a people. Yeah, So I think it's really cool, and I guess I really want people to be aware that it's a possibility, right? Like it's not just people energy that we can connect to. Like you can absolutely connect to.
Connect to
animals, anything.
On shiny. I mean, Allison used to talk to her rocks.
Yeah.
You could probably. We channeled my house. We spoke to my house. So everything has a consciousness.
Yeah. Because it all comes from
source.
right, yeah. And I had I kind of was having dialogue on my way home last night. I was like, I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this. And then I was like, God, just let me remember all these fantastic topics
I
that I thought
know.
of.
Did you remember
I
them?
don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they just kind of
I know.
come in. So I I looked at the comments one time on the
Uh-huh.
post that you made, and I stopped looking at it because
Okay.
I didn't want to know, because people were posting like the pictures and like their names, and I don't want to feel as though I'm remembering or I'm
Right. You don't want
repeating
to
something that
filter.
I've seen.
You
Right.
want to stay clear.
So I stopped looking at when people would reply, because it showed up as I replied, and so then I could see all of their responses. So I stopped looking at it, because I didn't want to. I don't know. I didn't want to influence or feel as though I was making it up. Right.
Right.
But I had an interesting conversation on this, and I had a couple of questions that it was interesting that I was having this talk with this girl, because of what we were talking about today. So like she has a cat that got into a fight with another cat. Its eye got infected. Um, Gave him medicine. He's sick again, right? Because it didn't never got we never. It's almost like he didn't take all the flu medicine, so the flu came back type thing.
Right.
And she was talking about how she's very aware. She was like, "There's a man in he's in my bedroom, right? Like he just
Lucky
stands
girl.
there, right?" She was like, he's very neutral,
Huh.
like not good or bad. He just watches. And her roommate picked up on it. He was like, "There's a man here." What she was then talking about, she was like, "I wonder if this is because her cat. I call him Mr. Norris. His name is Echo." But I was reading her one time, and I said, "Your cat is like," he's referring to himself as Mr. And he's still here, so that was crazy.
He, Mr. Norris, was that cat Mr. Norris?
Yeah, the cat. That's how he addressed himself. He said, "I'm Mr. Norris." I was like, "He's saying that his name is Mr. Norris," and she was like, She was like, "That's what I call him, but his name is Echo."
Okay.
So she was like, she started talking about the possibility of this man that she saw being the god of the cat.
Okay.
Right? So then it made me start questioning. I was like, well, and asking. I'm like, okay, well, do animals have gods like we have gods?
Interesting. Yeah.
Right? And I got the chill bumps. So the response or the way that I interpreted the response is, more than likely, can an animal have a god, not in the sense of how we have gods, because their god is ultimately source, because it's the purest form of source energy, right?
Okay.
Or another expression of, but can we call in a helper, like especially if this cat's sick, right? So could the mom have called in someone to assist with the kitty? That was kind of the response that I got, was like, yeah, like you can call them in to assist with, but like, do they have a god like how we do? No, because their god is sourced directly.
Okay.
I was like, that wasn't Mona. What are you doing? Now she's rubbing her head all up on the.
And now she's loving me.
Say hello.
Hi, Mona. Mona, let's start with Mona.
Yeah.
Hi, Mona. What do you think of your daddy? Do you love him so much?
So much. I can just tell. Like I have two, so I have her and the mother. The mother is Nola. She stays off by herself. But Mona is very much. Sometimes I feel like she's in love with me.
Really?
Yeah. I know that sounds crazy to say, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
my dog is in love with me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's different. It's been different with her. Not that I haven't loved every animal that I've had, but like it's different with her. Yeah, like there's a connection, right? And so like, I know some of the first comments, people were asking like, is this pet that I currently have my old pet coming back in, right? So that absolutely I think can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's I don't think every new dog that you get or every new cat you get is the previous one or the prior one. But yeah, absolutely. Like it's the same way you can come back with people,
right?
So different. And you got to think
We're
like,
in each other's Vesica Pisces.
yeah, and they're on another outer ring.
Right.
But they have the opportunity because they're typically our lifespan is longer.
Right. That makes sense.
You have the possibility of coming back
And I
multiple times. That's different.
bet they choose to just because, when we're all crossed over and, dead, then who cares? We're all over there together. But as long as we're still here, it may as well come
Yeah.
back and hang out with us again. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very much like it's almost really like when you have a pet, it's almost like having a God physically here on earth, right? Because that makes it because of the love, like the unconditional
Right.
love that they give you.
They're like,
Even the ones that are mistreated, still come back and they're just like all they want to do is like, let me just love on you, right? Like, let me love you.
oh. And I had an observation about my dog because I've never had this my first dog. And this dog is nothing but love. It's just love. Every single one of us, she just cannot stand it. When we're gone for 10 minutes and we come home, it's been 5 years since she hasn't seen us and she's all over us. And we reciprocate that. We're so in love with her too. And it was such an eye-opener about how you truly, give what you put out. She gives so much love, and that's all she gets back is just pure love. We got to try to do that more often. Give out more love into attract it.
I read an article, or it was like a little sentence or a statement not too long ago, and it was talking about that specifically, like with dogs. Because dogs don't really have a sense of time, right? So when you're gone, you're gone. And so that so like you spend an hour trying to reassure them, hey, I still love you. I'm here when you get back. And it was talking about instead of being like, I'll be back soon, because they don't know what soon is, you say, I'll love you while I'm gone.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, okay. Like, you're reassuring.
I like that. And there's just like we can send intent and messages to spirit, thoughts are real things. And I don't really know how an animal receives it. I don't get how the whole thing works, but I do believe it's true that you can send these thoughts at your towards your animals, and it might not translate the way you've said it, but maybe just that vibe of
Right.
I'll love you while I'm gone, sweet baby. So I'm told to talk to my house, to say, hi, Joy, I love you, appreciate my house. And in return, it will become a home, a place of love and gratitude. So if you can do it to your house, you can do it to your home. Okay, so I want to ask Mona if she has incarnated with you in either this lifetime or another one, how you guys share a connection.
Yeah. I'm not sure what. Now she's left the room. You're gonna run? You're gonna run away?
She's in the hot
seat. This is your moment, Mona. Come get on camera. It's your moment. I feel like here she comes. I feel like there's definitely been a connection. Yeah, she's back.
Come here, baby.
Like, I feel like there's definitely been previous connections. And more than just, sounds so weird. It's not weird, but as more than just owner and pet.
That's not weird at all, because I'm told that my dog Soba was my human daughter in a different lifetime. So we definitely belong to each other.
I think that your higher self can absolutely experience.
Mona,
get comfortable, Mona. I think that your higher self can absolutely experience what it's like to be in the energy of an animal, or a tree,
right?
The earth. I think you can absolutely. Why couldn't you? If I can.
Anything.
Yeah, if I can be an alien, why can't I experience being a dog or a cat?
Right.
So it's just energy. It's the same energy.
Is she gonna give you a specific or no? I want to know a specific.
Then it's like, how do you ask her, right? How do you ask the cat this question?
Right.
So it feels like animals together.
Okay.
That's weird. I never thought to ask that. Never thought to ask that. birds, maybe birds.
Oh, okay. Wait, your sound just cut out. Hang on. I have an unstable internet connection and I don't know why. Uh-oh. Say something again.
Testing 1, 2.
Okay, there it came back.
Okay.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, the bird thing feels right.
Okay.
But it's not. Well, I keep saying it's crazy. I don't mean that it's crazy. It's just I've never thought to ask these types of questions. It feels like she's part of me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's weird. I can't. And I don't know how else to say. That's why I keep saying it. That's so weird. Like, or
Maybe she is an aspect of
yeah,
higher self. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool. Never. I don't know. Kind of speechless and I'm for a minute. Processing. But
Well, you got to stop that processing because we got to move on.
I know. Okay.
Okay, let's talk about your red bird then. How do you know it's your grandma?
She actually comes. Birds were always her thing.
Okay.
So like growing up, like she would always point out cardinals or the red birds, blue jays, and robins. So I will associate all three of them with her in those random moments. If it's one of those three, and it comes and lands on the porch or what flies in front of me, whatever, I'm like, I associate those three with her. My mother associates really only the cardinals or the red ones with her. So when I was, God, probably 8 or 9, we'd always go to church with her in the morning. She worked in the office. And so like for my brother, she comes in as a blue jay or a bluebird. Because I drew this picture of her as a superhero. And her name was Betty. So like the picture, her superhero name was Bluebird Betty. So she had so yeah, any of the three. And I think that it's very, very common. I think everybody watches this is going to know this. Like it's very, very common for your loved ones or spirits to use animals to kind of give you a sign.
Yes.
And so I think if you have an association, or if you associate an animal, a certain type of animal with a person or an energy, that those are the ones that you're going to readily identify as.
I know what you're saying, and let me use Eric as an example because his little thing is the dragonfly.
Right.
So I asked him about that. How do you do that? Do you like become the dragonfly? I didn't know what it was, and the way I interpreted it is that he kind of uses energy to manipulate the bug to fly near you. So that's how that works in that sense. He doesn't turn into a dragonfly. He just helps manipulate energy to push him towards you.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, because I had the same and what's cool is with that is when I was getting to know him, I would see everybody else would comment and say that was his sign. So then I ended up associating that with him also, instead of like just having a random, that's, So I think that if you are going through something like that, or you're looking for signs, like if you have one loved one that's still here that identifies, then still their identifier, or just pick a random one, say maybe,
assign it.
Yeah, like assign it. Like you have different. They'll work with you.
And what it could mean too is like we all have our numbers. I have 17.
Right.
Whenever I see a 17, it's like a God week. It's like you're on track, and I'm just giving you a little hello. So that's what the animals could mean too. I'm here. It's a real sign. Although I gotta say that we have a lot of dragonflies here, so I wouldn't consider it to be Eric unless there were two attached fucking. But I knew it was.
I love it.
Okay, I gotta tell you that we had so many questions, and this is the way I decided to just deal with it. I wanted it to be fair. I didn't want to do I don't know. So what I did was I just printed everything, and I meant to just make it a total completely like in order of questions received, but that was too much for my little brain. So I just printed out all of the questions and I shuffled them in my papers.
It works.
Okay. So let me, I'm going to start with me first because it's my show. I started with you. Okay. So is there any more information on Soba and past incarnations together? My husband thinks that she is his dog, and it's totally possible that she was his dog first and then my dog, and like the soul has belonged to us both in the past, but I don't know if that works. I don't know how that works. I guess it could. Anyway, some history on my dog.
Yeah, it does feel like it's a shared ownership, right? Well, it's really a multi-share because one of the kids also.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah. So there have been, how do I describe that? So the feeling is it's almost like taking turns, sometimes together, but like taking turns. Like, okay, I've been with, and it could be within the same lifetime. So let's say that if you, the kids, your husband have had multiple lifetimes playing various roles with each other,
right?
That in those times where you're not connected yet physically, that yes, that kind of the energy of the dog would have hopscotched within that time frame because it meant like their lifespans are shorter, so they would have the opportunity to interact separately.
Well, not only that, they can fractalize themselves.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Huh.
That's really cool. I had a dog named, every time you say Soba, I had a dog named Soda with a D instead of a B.
That's funny.
Yeah. You may have to ask me another question.
Okay, I will. Well, okay, I'm gonna move on because I always get information. I know she was my kid one time. I know I'm crazy about her, but I would like to gift my husband with a message from his dog, Misty. She died a long, long time ago. I think she was a German Shepherd. I think he loved this dog. It's from like probably the 80s.
So was this dog like late childhood dog? Like
yeah, he was like a teen.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't even know what to ask because some of them are like, "Do you have a message for me?" So we can start with that. If not, we can
first and foremost, all the messages are going to be,
a message.
I love you, right?
Right.
I love you. Woof, woof,
bark, bark.
Meow. There's your message. I think all of them want to. I mean, all of them would give just the unconditional love feeling.
Absolutely. Yes.
But it feels like, I feel like I want to say that, so there had to have been the separation where did he move away from the dog?
Yes. A little bit, yeah.
Didn't take the dog with him when he moved.
Right.
The dog stayed home.
Right.
And so obviously, I feel like it wouldn't have been long after he moved out that something started happening with the dog, right? And he may not have, like, it feels like, I almost feel like, I want to say that your husband feels as though he missed out, like, on being there with her, right?
Was she sad to feel him go? Was she sad, or did she understand?
Well, yeah, but this isn't a judgment thing,
right?
Like, it's not a judgment thing.
Of course not.
They're not like, how dare you leave me? Like,
I know, but that's the dogs just don't get things. Yeah,
they have feelings. Like, yeah, absolutely, she missed them.
Sure.
Because she makes me feel like even with like other people in the house, she would have been his dog.
That's how he feels. That was his special one of the other dogs.
Yeah. But she doesn't blame because of course they love you regardless.
Right.
But it's very much the feeling that it's okay that you weren't there.
Okay.
Like, because I feel like that has to be something that bothered him.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the message he needed to hear.
Yeah, so that's the reassurance.
Yeah, okay.
And I
Okay.
did have this is I'm going to explain the process of how it happened.
Okay.
And I don't know if someone in the comments has said something about this or not. But so like probably yesterday, day before yesterday, I started feeling a golden retriever around, and I've never had a golden retriever. But I feel like the dog's name is Charlie, and I'm gonna tell you how I got to Charlie because I knew that this was coming up, right? And so I got the impression of like a dog, and it was like golden retriever, and and then they started making me think of Charlie Goldsmith. And so I was like, okay, Charlie is the dog, and then it was like the Goldsmith was like the golden retriever. Like that's how it made my brain
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Thanks.
connect the pieces. So I don't know if someone has, and I want to call him Charlie Boy, like Charlie
Okay.
Boy. Instead of Good Boy, it's like Charlie Boy.
Okay.
So I don't know if hopefully Charlie
Somebody needs to
belongs
claim
to-
this message
yeah.
in our thread. Yeah.
hopefully Charlie belongs to someone because I swear it's like been the last 2 days, at least all day yesterday. Like
Wow. Okay.
dog.
What is he?
That's kind of cool.
Does he have a message or just
I think he's like,
Just-
yeah, I think it's just like,
tell my mama and daddy I'm
you know,
here?
like, I want to be the first one. I want to be the first one. I want to be the first one. And like a reassurance, you know, like that's all they really want to do is reassure. But yeah, it was very specifically Charlie Golden Retriever. Like I would not waver. If you said it was a lab, I'd be like, it's the wrong dog. Like,
Wow. Okay.
Golden Retriever. His name was Charlie, but would have had like he would have been called like Charlie Boy.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna
Because
investigate.
They made me start thinking I'm gonna how my brain works. So I'm like, okay, Charlie, because the Charlie Goldsmith connection, right? And then one of my coworkers, hell, Kitty, she's her claws are sharp. One of my coworkers has a grandson named Charlie, and she calls him Charlie Man. So they made me like it took me to that, like to
Okay.
that. But I was like, but it's boy because it's like good boy, so Charlie Boy. So hopefully somebody can
Okay.
claim that.
And I hear that you got a little crush on Charlie Goldsmith.
Oh my God, he's beautiful.
Isn't he beautiful? And did you hear me on Alice Eats the Apple the other day that I'm gonna have Denise channel his higher self
Yeah, I can't wait.
tomorrow so that we can
Can't wait for
yeah.
that. Yeah, oh, beautiful,
He is.
beautiful, and just such a nice, like seems I don't know him, but
I
seems like
know.
a very
So
seems
humble
like a
and
very
sweet.
nice, yeah. It just makes him even more. It just makes him even more attractive.
Yummy.
I love you, Charlie. If you see this, I love you.
I'll tell him tomorrow.
I told Dennis because you know Dennis is in Australia,
Right.
where Charlie and I said, well, as soon as Charlie flies me out for our wedding, I was like, I'll come visit you.
Dennis is invited.
Yeah,
So funny.
I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna start on these questions, and I'm just
Okay.
gonna start on this one. It was like a late question, but this is interesting to me. I'm gonna go a little tiny bit out of order because I just got done
Okay.
telling you that I've met a new person who I think may be part of Minerva's posse.
Right.
And I invited her real quick to share a question with me. And before you answer it, I want to tell you the story. But her question was, she had a dog. Her name's Kathleen, and she had a dog named Loki who passed away a year ago. And then when I was looking at my questions, Jody Sorbello Runyon, I know you may be familiar with that name. Her question was, I would love to hear from my baby Loki who passed over a year ago. So I have two people in completely different countries who lost a dog named Loki a year ago. That was weird. So I want to start with Kathleen's dog, and what she wants to know is if Loki is still visiting her other fur baby that's still alive and living in the house she used to live in.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yes.
She says she claims that they had an amazing connection. Is there anything to that?
But it's like a sibling. You grew up together, or they grew up together. They were a part of each other's lives, and
Okay.
yeah. So the visits, absolutely. But she knows that because
She's asking the
She-
question. She's new to
looking
this
for
stuff.
confirmation.
She's
Yeah,
new to
feels-
spirituality. She goes, I feel nuts for asking this question
Yeah.
about a dog.
I think she's. Oh, I got the chill bumps. I feel as though she's asking more so for confirmation that what she's experiencing or what she thinks that
Okay.
she's seen or or felt is
Okay.
real. More so instead of asking, can it happen, or does he do it? It's more of a, tell me I'm not crazy.
Okay, so
Right.
Kathleen, if you're getting vibes about it, don't
Yeah.
discount that. That's your pop coming to see you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we switch over to the other Loki now, to Jody's Loki? And I'm not, I have so many questions. I just want to give people a little piece. If you have like a real strong message, then shut me up and continue. But that's why I'm gonna, move on.
Well, I mean, in general, a general message for everybody is that your pets are okay. Like they transition. They transition the same way that we do, but they're so connected. Like they don't have to work through like the stuff.
Interesting.
like
Because we create a hell.
Yeah.
And we go over there and we have hell. They go home, they're just back to source.
Yeah, they're just like, it's like they never left.
Okay.
It's like they never left. And they absolutely can come back and visit you. You can dream about them. You can feel them in the house, in the car, wherever. They absolutely come back. And I feel like most of the time if I'm talking to somebody one-on-one and an animal comes through, it's never anything profound.
Yeah.
Like they may give a description or like a name or something, but it doesn't always happen that way. But it's always just so, I feel like it's more so of, hey, it's yes, like I'm still here, but they're always like, you knew that though,
And you know what? You're right about this, and people just really appreciate having that little shout out. It means so much to them, even though, like you said, it's not a profound message. They got to have their name and their pet name acknowledged, and it's nice.
I love when with the two Lokis, it immediately made me think of growing up and different. Every year there's popular baby names.
Yeah, good point.
Right. So I was like, okay, somebody got into the Avengers series.
Is that where that comes from? Loki's from the. Okay.
He's a Norse god. He's the god of mischief, right? I think god of mischief. But yeah, so he's a character in the Avengers movies. So I think it's like, I know that there were a wave of animals that
there's
were
gonna be a lot of
Loki.
Lokis right now. Okay, so was that Loki's?
I don't know if this description is gonna match either one of them.
Okay.
But I feel like it's not both of them. It's one of them. It's like a black dog. But I don't know, sleek. But like medium, not a big dog, but almost like a mutt. The size of mutts typically are like mediums, but
right?
Black.
Send me a picture, black. But like I said, everything's confused here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peek while you talk.
It's got to be I don't know how to describe very short, kind of slick, sleek, fur, pointed, like the very pointed face.
I think this is the right one, and it looks kind of, I don't know, dogs. I'm gonna say a bit mixed, but I have no idea. But straight hair, not curly or anything.
Yeah, and this would almost be like German Shepherd shape face, like that pointy, not like a flat, like a
okay, yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Influence you. That's the one I think is Jody's Loki. But as you can tell, there's no message on the top, so I can be completely off. Okay.
Yeah, so it's one of them. I feel like I want to say thank you. I feel like I want to say thank you and for making the decisions, making the hard decision. And I think that's a lot of times that can apply to a lot of people. Like if you've ever been in a position where you had to put an animal down.
Yeah. Don't save them. Just don't.
Yeah, it's a thank you.
Home is so much better.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know for which one that it's for, but I feel like I want to say thank you. As a cat hair flies into my mouth.
Mona, get out of here.
Right?
Okay, I'm gonna ask another question.
Okay.
Okay, and I didn't read these ahead of time because, like I said, I was so discombobulated. But okay, Kat wants to know. She is fostering 2 senior cats, Gracie and Belle. And she wants to know if they want to get adopted out or live their lives with her. And
I saw that question.
Okay.
And it was an immediate, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to go. Like,
They want to stay there. Oh, yeah. Yay. Okay, Kat, you got 2 extra cats now.
Yeah.
What'd she say about, I wanted to know if my cat Shadow could not pick on them. So, Shadow, be nice to the new friends.
Well, what I feel like this is because Shadow is not certain if they're staying or going, right?
Okay.
And so it's you're in my house, right? Like you're in my space.
I'm
like,
still the Lord here.
Right. You're not, and as of right now, they're not part of, right? Like they're not part of the environment. Yeah, they're still in that visitor stage. So they very much, I do feel very much like they wanted to stay, like they don't want to go. And then once they're made official as part of the energy of the house, that will calm down.
Okay.
It's like visitor, like.
Well, I have my own situation like that. I wanted to ask and I forgot. I got Mama Cat and she has not acclimated to Soba at all. Does Mama Cat have some information? Is she ever going to? Is there some way?
The dog pisses her off. Pisses her off. Yeah. So I feel like there's got to be sometimes where Mama Cat, you're just like, gosh, she is such a bitch. She walked all the way across the room just to fucking attack the dog. Like that was the only reason she came over here. Stop being so mean. But the dog just, I don't know. It's a very agitated.
Oh, that's funny. That is their dynamic. Because he's just a puppy that wants to be curious and love on her. She's like, fuck you.
Yeah. I think when he calms down.
I think so too. He's too puppy. She's too puppy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mama, back off. Love your sib. Okay. Okay, we have a friend, Shirley Willis, and she would love to hear from her dog, Candy. Oh.
It makes me think of a poodle. Or like I don't say a frou dog, but like I don't know, the name. It just makes me think of frou, like girly.
Well, I don't have the rest of the question printed out here, but it seems like a pretty tragic death, and Shirley probably wants to know that the kitty's doing okay.
Yeah. So how we plan our exit,
animal.
Right? Like,
I don't even know if it's a dog. Okay, sorry.
How we plan our exit, like their exit is also
okay.
So it's the same. I hate that it was tragic, but in the end, for their purpose, that's just the vehicle that that allows them to.
So what kind of does an animal learn a soul lesson from that kind of thing?
I think yeah, absolutely. I think anything, like any energy, is always going to learn and grow.
Right.
But it's more of a lesson for
the people.
For us. So I mean, if they're just going in their sleep, or if they get, God forbid, run over by a car, whatever the specific, it's I don't know. It's always a lesson. But what can you possibly learn from watching, seeing your dog like that? Well, in the end, in the grand scheme of things, you can learn that they're just transition. They're just in another form. Like they're still okay. You can still love them. They still love you. And that's the woo-woo answer, right? The fortune cookie.
Yeah, I'm going to give my own answer too. And I don't even know what she's asking because, like I said, to cut off. But, there's no hard feelings from your pet. Jason said it was part of the plan. And find your lessons from it, because don't let that death happen in vain. That's what I'm going to throw out there.
And it's always sad. Like anytime you lose a pet, like it's, some people just don't understand. Like they're like, oh, it's just a dog, or just a cat. But no, like that's my child. Like like that's part of my family. So it's the same grieving process that you would have for, at least for me. It's the same grieving process as if I was to lose a person. I mean, I've had a longer relationship. I've had a longer relationship with both of them than I have any man. Like.
Oh, that's both funny and sad. I hear you. Okay, I'm going to move on to Tracy's question. I'd love to hear from my cat, Sapphire. She was poisoned and we're at a loss. Who poisoned Sapphire and why?
I am not a police detective. However, my first thought is the neighbor. Why? Well, I guess first and foremost, they're an asshole, right?
Clearly.
But there is again that was the animal's vehicle to transition, right? Okay. Yeah, but it feels like neighbor. It wasn't like a random stranger came up and put poison out, or it's not like the cat got out and got into something. Like, yeah, it feels like it's like it keeps coming in my space. I'm tired of it.
Okay.
Assholery. Yeah.
And my friend Jennifer, her name is Jennifer Fernay Bonar, but I never really learned how to say her name, so I just call her Jennifer Funny Boner. and I'm going to answer this question, but you can maybe tap in too. But she says that one of her dogs just passed away, and was that dog ready? Of course she was ready, because she did, or she. There it is. Your pup is back home, where she wants to be. Okay. Michaela Reynolds. Okay, I'm just going to read this verbatim. This is one of these questions that will benefit us all. Those are my favorites. When choosing a life as a pet, what soul experiences would one expect with each animal that they couldn't get from another? For example, why would I choose to be a cat? What key differences are there between living as a cat versus a dog when it comes to soul experiences?
I love that.
So with her example, what do you learn as a cat versus what do you learn as a dog?
Dog is absolutely how to give unconditional love. That's chill up so bad. Confirmation for me.
Right.
Yeah. And keep in mind, like I feel like when you choose to come in as an animal, even though it is you, or it's whoever their energy is. Like, but if I chose to come in as a dog to experience, then I'm choosing to come in and I'm choosing to experience being able to give unconditional love all the time, regardless of how I'm being treated.
Wow, that is the truth. That's how a dog is.
But also keep in mind that how do I describe that? I feel like when you're a pet, obviously you're more connected to your higher self, your highest self, like because it's a direct connection.
Okay.
Like there's not any of the forgetting who you are. Like I think there's a part of you that very like you just know, like, okay, like yes, I'm in this form, however my energy is more pure, let's say that way. More intense. And so the more pure or intense, I hate pure, I shouldn't say that, the more intense or compact, I guess, your connection or that part of you, you're part of love. So it's hard not to give it unconditionally all the time.
Okay.
Cats, God, who would not love to be a cat?
I know. You sleep all fucking day.
Do whatever you want to.
I know.
So obviously it can vary depending on their situation. But the part of me wants to say, like, depending on the situation, it could be a life of luxury, right?
Okay. Like Mona.
Yeah, like I get to play all day, sleep all day, eat.
Right.
Like, like if I want you to touch me and love on me for a minute, then I'll come up to you. Like,
And when I'm done, I'm walking away.
yeah. So it can be a very, well, I feel like it would be a luxurious experience. Like, yes, I can't wait for that. But there's an independence typically with cats, and there there's a, how do I say it? There's a there's a cunningness, right? It's, to me, dog would be unconditional love,
Completely
and
innocent and unconditional.
yeah,
A
and
cat's
cats would,
recalculating.
yeah. So it's very much a life of instincts.
Okay.
But what lessons you learn from that, I don't know.
I don't know either.
But it
I guess,
still,
you just take our stereotyped versions of these pets and just
yeah,
just like you said.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually, I caught one of those live feeds like you do, live channelings from this woman named Jenna Lemare, and she pulls charms out of a bag instead of tarot
Mm,
cards or whatever, these
yeah,
little bitty charms. And the last one I caught, she pulled for me a cat, and that was to represent. I was in a place, and I didn't know what it meant at the time, but after some thought, I knew exactly what she was referring to. But I was trying to figure out if one of my relationships was to stay in that place of autonomy, because cats are very autonomous, but they're also very lovey-dovey
right.
and intimate in a way. So I was in a place of trying to figure out where I'm going to take this relationship. So that's another, thing about cats that you were
Yeah.
just talking about too. They're both.
And I think that it also, um, it's yeah, you obviously you're going to get an experience, whether it's just living the experience and having the senses, like the physical senses of the animal, just the experiencing what a life of in that type of form feels like.
Mhm.
But I think the bigger part, and as far as like what could you learn, it's not necessarily what can you learn. It's more so, how are you going to help the person that you are the pet of
Okay.
experience and
Interesting.
learn and grow. So you're almost like you're more so here for, not that you're not here for yourself, but it's like it would be no different than a contract for me to come in and us me,
Learn off each
for
other.
us,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the same.
Okay. Yeah, that does make sense. That sounds very selfless too, that these animals, these pets are coming in to more help us because we need a little bit more help, I think, than pets do because they are already connected. Interesting.
Yeah, there it's there's no other way to describe it than saying that they are um, a direct spark off of
God.
source, or
Oh,
I mean, we all are, right? We all are, but it's just that they're a different expression,
okay.
right?
Okay. A different piece of
They're
God.
a different,
Okay.
yeah, they're a
That's
different
beautiful.
expression.
And you said that, we just want to sometimes experience things. And I remember on Shiny,
Yeah,
I would talk to all kinds of crazy shit. And one of the, I don't even know who I was talking to, but they said you should try being the wind.
yeah,
Okay,
that'd be
what's
cool.
it like to be the wind?
Yeah,
So there's all kinds of experiences you can have just for the sake of experiencing. You don't even
yeah,
necessarily have to learn, just experience. Okay, so, and I'm going to rush through some of these
okay,
because
okay.
this one is from Chris Morales, and she wants to know if her dog Garubi has a message. And I'm just going to just go ahead when I get these kinds of messages and just say, unless something jumps out at you, that your dog Ruby loves you. You can
Yeah,
communicate with
absolutely.
your puppy. All of you know your intent and your energy. So just, have a little quiet time, call your puppy in and see if you can feel him rubbing on your leg and whatever. Did you pick anything up for Groovy or should I go?
Um, I, I think it's more of, I feel like it's like a smell. I don't know if there's a, so okay, so when like when you're talking about, you made the comment of call him in, well,
Mm-hmm.
I, it was it was the thought was it's going to come in as a smell,
Oh,
like,
I gotta smell your stinky dog.
but I think it's going to be either like the dog shampoo or
Okay.
something. I don't know if something they've sprayed the dog with something, but I
Oh,
feel
it's
like
gonna
it's,
be familiar.
yeah, it's going to be
Oh,
something.
hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Look out for
Like,
that.
I hope that, yeah, I hope that makes sense. Like the, whatever would have been, it's got to be like the shampoo or like a spray,
Okay.
um,
That totally
they
makes
put on
sense.
the dog. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So look out for that, Chris. Okay, here's my friend Laura Copen, and she wants to talk about her beagle, Madeline. What she really wants to know is if and I understand. I mean, that sometimes we feel like these questions are nonsense. Who cares? But at the same time, it's burns inside your heart, and you really want to know.
Yeah.
She was
There
told
are no stupid questions.
right that her dog was accidentally choked on a piece of wood, and she really wants to know if that's the truth. It was Madeline, the beagle.
I don't. I'll be honest. I don't feel like I don't feel choked.
Okay.
Like I'm choking on something. Um. But then that causes other questions. Well, then what happened?
Yeah. So what happened?
Right? What happened?
So what happened, Jason? Pressure's on.
I don't know. It feels like it's not the way that not the way that it was told.
Well, you know, she was little. She says it was her first dog, so maybe she was being protected. My mom always told me that the animals went to live on the farm.
Yeah,
I know where that farm is.
Clifford ran away.
Right.
Clifford got hit by a car, but they didn't want to tell us that. Yeah, so it doesn't. It feels like it's something different,
Okay.
but it doesn't feel malicious. You know, it doesn't feel like
okay.
someone intentionally did something, to the dog.
Maybe somebody like dropped a chicken bone and felt guilty and changed the story a little bit. I don't know.
Did anybody post any? Did you see any comments about a horse?
I didn't read them yet, but tell me what you got.
It was so weird because I thought I felt the horse the other day too.
Horse.
I don't know, but I feel like somebody's got a horse, and there's got to be. I don't know if the person or if the horse is the R, like ruby, or some type of jewel type. I don't know, like a ruby jewel type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so weird. But yeah, so I feel like somebody, God, hopefully somebody, I don't know, looking like a crazy person, and somebody is either the I feel like the horse is the ruby. It's ruby. There's got to be a ruby connection.
Okay.
Whether it's the person or the horse, or it can make sense to someone that would have the horse. And it feels like that reddish brown color with the
diamond
with the white
Uh-huh.
stuff on the face. The white stuff, the white fur hair on its face. And I think that's why it's like ruby, like the name, because it would have been red, right? Red horse.
Oh, okay.
Red, ruby. I think that's where the name connection. But I feel like they're just wanting to be like, hey, yeah, like I'm a horse.
Hey, I don't know. I'm flipping through. I don't see anything about Ruby.
Okay.
But, the animals know that we're
Yeah.
doing this, so they they can try to hunt us down too. So I hope somebody
if you
does
watch
pick
it,
up on that.
it makes sense. Yeah, if it makes sense to somebody.
Okay, so another one. I got a couple others, and I'm just gonna skip these for now, just because they're like I'd like a message or tell them I love them kind of stuff. But I'm gonna
They love
tell
you too.
Right,
They all love you.
Jody, Kobe loves you, and Patricia, Tinda loves you. Let's see. Oh, here's one from my soul sissy Heather. Remember White Kitty, her feral cat that had a bunch of babies and was real bitchy and then ran away and died? that was my part. She wants to know. I don't know if she died or not. Did she die? Heather thinks she was poisoned, but she wants to know if she's okay, or if she's around her, or if she's alive or coming back or what. Anything, I guess, from White Kitty.
Yeah, and I feel like I saw her question. I think Miss Kitty. What's the cat's name?
White Kitty, very
White
original.
Kitty. I think White Kitty is dead. Because I got the picture of kind of like just wandering up under a bush somewhere, like under something, and just kind of like going to sleep, right, not waking up.
Mm-hmm.
What I love more is the fact that it's a white kitty, because then it always makes me think of the Sarsar, because they're
Tall whites.
paper white, right? And like she
Right.
had the white kitty. I'm like, look what they did there.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah. I just feels like she was done.
All right. She wasn't very nice.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like someone
Poisoned her
did
on
something
purpose.
to
Okay.
her. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I have this face cut off. I wish I knew whose person this was.
And I love that you are, even the people that are saying the questions like, is there a message from? I love that you're reading, well, not just their name, but I love that you're reading their pet's name.
The pets' names are the best.
Yeah, and because I feel like I think you said this earlier. It was not like their moment in the spotlight, but it's like an in memorial of,
Yeah,
like,
it's a little
cool
tribute.
way. It's a cool way to kind of honor.
Yeah.
And pay tribute to.
So, and I can't see his name. I'll figure it out, but it's the Newton. There's a kitty cat named Newton. And God, I had it I'm so sorry. I'm so unorganized with this one. But Newton, the message from Newton, again, is love. I'll continue on. And another one. Oh, Tracy wants to know if Sammy is adjusting okay. Of course he is. We just talked about that.
Yeah,
They're right back home.
Immediately. It's like they never left.
And Lily Wood, she actually gave me this golden sparkle cup. Let me have a little drink. Lily thanks us for doing this because she knows how important people's fur babies are. Oh, and she doesn't really have a question, but she says, tell my little dog Daisy that I love her and I'm so sorry she experienced a tragic end. You would have thought I lost a human child. I cried nonstop for days and still carry guilt for that loss. Let me address this. And I already know the answer, but let me hear yours. Do animals want us to feel guilt in their passing?
No, absolutely not.
Free yourself of that, Lily.
Yeah.
Clearly you loved pet.
And I think sometimes what can happen is, especially when we feel as though I could have done something, like I should have been there, I should have been watching, or that I could have, should have, would have. That a lot of times, yes, the grieving process is absolutely natural, but I think a lot of times what happens when we can't let go of the guilt is because I feel like they constantly come around us, especially after it happens. And some people aren't aware that they're picking up on the energy, but their thoughts go to the animal, and it makes them just feel guilty because you're like, I'm feeling this animal, like, but they don't realize that they're feeling the animal present. But their brain is registering, oh, here's Penny, here's Penny, here's Penny, and so then it's Penny, 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 and then you start feeling bad. Oh, Penny's not here. Penny's not here. I did this, like. But
I am guilty of turning my feelings into something negative when it doesn't need to be. I create a problem.
Yeah. So
next time you sense that.
Yeah, when you start to feel guilty, take that as a sign that
your animal's here to bring you love. Yeah.
Find that silver lining in it, right?
Turn your frown upside down.
Yeah, turn that grief into love, like
an appreciation that they're here. That's so awesome. They can totally do that. Anytime you guys feel guilt about your past animal, take it as a sign that they're connecting with you and appreciate that and send them love back. That is an awesome piece of advice. Because even if we just invented that, you can totally create that. If it's not something that's ever been done, it is a reality.
Yeah.
You can totally do that. How much power we have. Okay, so Lisa Metheny, she has a dog named Rudy, and he died a few years ago, and so did her dad. And she wants to know if Rudy and Dad are hanging out together.
I feel like that's a big yes.
A big yes.
Yeah. Because not only it would almost be like, well, Dad's like, why wouldn't I take it? Like, why wouldn't I take care of the dog?
Right.
Like, you think I'm just gonna let him wander off? Not that they can wander off, but what I'm saying, like, why wouldn't I?
Well, what this kind of brings up to me is that because I know in my own path when I cross over, I don't know if I needed to hear this at the time or if it's really true, but I was so in love with Michael that they told me that when we crossed over, we would continue to stay in those personalities on the other side so that we can have the relationship that we didn't get to have here.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay, Carrie and Michael, on the flip side for a while, but at some point it won't matter anymore and we'll reabsorb into,
Right.
a different source. So interesting that the dog is choosing to stay a dog and stay with the dad that's choosing to stay the dad. And I believe that's because they still have people incarnate and a reason to stay. Yeah.
I think that, so I like to think of it as, like your higher self is a closet with a bunch of coats, and so I can go, oh, this is the Jason coat. So if I need to step back into, like, even though I'm a combination of all of those coats, right? I'm the closet itself. But if I need to step back in and put Jason's coat on to make a connection with somebody, then I can put the Jason coat on and connect with somebody. So I also can stay in that Jason coat if I want to, until my person or whoever it is gets there with me.
Yeah.
Right? And then if I want to go back to the closet and be the totality, or if I want to pull the whoever coat out, like, I can do that. So yeah, it's so different. Like, their energy is no different than our energy. It's not a lesser,
Right. Well, yeah, I get on that kick about, vegetarians and vegans that are so against eating animals. I'm like, you eat fucking plants. They have a soul too.
Right. Yeah. And animals, a pig knows that it's going to get eaten. Okay. Like, before it comes down here, like, it understands. Okay, this is what I'm going to get eaten. The same way, like, out in the wild, like, the antelope knows, okay, that lion, in 143 days, like, that lion's going to get, I'm not going to last that long. I'm going to go ahead and go back. But they know that.
And what, if you think about it, if we know how much, like we were saying in one of our videos, that this is hell. Earth is hell. It's the farthest away you can be from source. So we got to quit mourning and grieving the passing of our people and animals, because they get to leave hell and go back home to what's beautiful.
We should be jealous.
Right. They got to go to the party before us. You get that keg ready. We're on our way.
Yeah.
Okay. So Emma, I don't know how to say her name. Nystrom, maybe. She doesn't have like a specific animal question, but she wants to connect with a dinosaur. Do you want to go find a dinosaur? I don't know which
How do I do that? Like, do I just ask?
I don't know, but when I was in UK with Allison one time, we were at some ruins, and there were like a bunch of monks and old religious figures there. But before that, it was roamed by dinosaurs. So she tapped into dinosaur energy. That was trippy.
That's cool. Okay. I feel like if I ask, is there a specific?
I don't know.
Is there a specific?
Let's
I mean, it can't hurt to try, right?
Yeah. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Mine was always the Stegosaurus and the pterodactyl.
Oh, I like both of those too. Let's do a Stegosaurus.
It always makes me think of Land Before Time.
The tree star.
Yeah. Tree star. Okay. Okay.
Hi, Stegosaurus. What do you think of being called forth right now? Have you ever been messaged before by the people, by the humans?
He's like, that's so weird. It's not weird. It's new. This is new. It's like a not specifically, like, like, specifically have I been called upon? No.
Right.
Like,
what's your temperament like? I don't know anything about you.
Very, yeah, like a cow.
Oh, okay.
Right, like, very just.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call him Spike from Land Before Time. Spike. And I'll be honest, I don't like. It doesn't feel like I have a dinosaur.
Okay, because you have an inner piece of God's energy.
But it does. It does feel as though there is a separate, like, there is an energy. But they always stand by the front door. But it's not in the shape. It's not in the shape of a dino. It's not like a dinosaur's. I don't know. It's like a ball. If that makes sense. It's almost like there's a ball of what we would call Stegosaurus energy.
Okay.
Weird. Oh, not weird. It's just new. It's new. But I'm like, you're so well spoken because he's like,
So is
I
he?
mean,
If he
personally, no, I have not been called. But in general, yes. Do people connect to
okay.
dinosaur energy? Yeah, he's like, that's why some people grow up to be archaeologists
Oh,
and
okay.
dinosaur hunters, like because they have a connection to
Okay.
that energy. It's the same as people that grow up to be like vets. They have a natural connection to
Okay.
animals, doctors, like people that want to heal and stuff like that. They have a natural connection to people. So he's like, yeah. So there are people that connect to like the collective,
Uh-huh.
what would be kind of the collective of dinosaur energy. Um, but again, he's like, they're connecting to source. It's almost like an analogy. Like they're connecting to the library. They're just pulling out the specific book on dinosaurs or
Okay.
that specific part of energy that were dinosaurs. Uh,
Can I ask a woo question of him? He seems pretty
yeah,
smart for a dinosaur. I got
I
two.
know,
The
right?
first question was, and it led to a second one. The first one I was going to ask was, would you do recommend incarnating as a dinosaur? Because all the planets say you've got to give it a try, be a planet. But then I was wondering, and I think you can. Can we choose to go
Yeah,
back in time and incarnate as a dinosaur?
because our perception is that we're going back in time when in reality that's not the case, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, he says if that's something that you choose to do, you've probably already done it.
Okay.
So can you re-experience that? What it's like? Yes. I feel like he was wanting to make a joke, and he's like, be something that can either fly away, run real fast, or can have spikes on you, right? Like
Okay.
that can protect you,
Okay.
or just be massive as fuck, like coming like a brontosaurus or something.
Giving us pointers on what kind of
Yeah.
dinosaur to be. Isn't that crazy?
But yes, it feels very much like I feel like I want to do this when I walk. It's very much like Jurassic Park, but I feel like I just want to graze, like a cow. Like I just want to graze and
Okay.
eat.
All right. Well, Jason, let's be dinosaurs one time. Go hang out with Spike.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Okay. So, Samantha Doherty, your first name is Nobukosi or something. Um, how did I know? Oh, she missed a word. She wants to know. I think she meant how did her dog Lion feel about them leaving it behind him. They had to leave their dog behind named Lion, and they don't know how Lion feels. I don't know if
Um,
Lion's still here or not.
yeah. So this is the thing. This is not a judgment thing, but animals do get sad,
Uh-huh.
right? I mean, they have emotions. So yeah, it feels like there's a confusion of why am I not going? Like, so I don't know if it was ever. It feels like it was never explained.
Oh,
As crazy as
interesting.
it sounds like it was never explained to the dog as this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen. Unfortunately, this is what has to happen.
Okay.
Um, it's just it just feels like I'm confused and then like sad, and that's not to make you sad.
Well, you know what?
Like
Let's find a silver lining to this because this could
yeah,
be a teaching moment. Is it just as simple as sitting down and thinking the thoughts to your pet? I have to
yeah,
leave because of this. Is that all it
or
takes?
saying it out loud, like talk to them like a.
Either way, yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's
you
that
talk to
simple.
babies, like people talk to babies all the time. That baby's not responding to you, but it can still get the gist of it, right? Because it's also your voice is just energy. So
Right. So,
like yeah, like if you have to be putting that, and I understand like sometimes life happens and there's no other option,
mhm.
um, and there's lessons to be learned there. But I think one way to kind of give yourself peace of mind and not worry about it is to just explain it. Like don't bullshit the animal. Like just sit down and
Don't
explain what's
sugarcoat it. Tell
yeah,
them
like
what up.
explain what's happening, and let them know that it's at no fault of
Okay.
their own. You know. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, it did feel like there was some confusion. Um, and some sadness. But like that, ultimately, does the dog hate you? No.
I don't think
Like,
dogs can hate. I
no.
don't think they're equipped to do that.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's another. Okay, how does Leslie Rodriguez, sorry for the butchering of names. What does Missy the Pomeranian think about the cats that she's living with?
I feel like it's like a like
Gotta
it's
deal with it.
I could do without, but like if
I can
if they,
hang, but I prefer not
yeah, it's like, okay, like if this is happening, okay, I can live with it, but like I can do without.
to. Okay.
For now, for now, I think
Okay.
that I feel like they don't. I feel like they get along though. Like
Okay.
I feel like they tolerate.
She took this dog in. The owner died, so she took it in about a year ago and had to, assimilate it with her cats. So sounds like it's going okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Jody Wolf wants a message from Tiger. She is curious if she had other lifetimes with this kitty cat.
I feel like because she's asking the question,
That's enough right there, huh?
yeah, like it's kind of confirmation. So I would say I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
And I think there's been several within this, like within what her current lifetime is. Like I feel like there's been several times that Tiger
Oh,
has
okay.
popped in.
All right, there it is. Okay, now this one, oh gosh, I have to just put that question aside because it's missing half of it. Okay, let's see here. Oh, how come Lori Bentz's cats Bubbles and Pumpkin Spice keep fighting? How can she mediate better? What's going on with those two?
I'm not sure who it was. Somebody made a joke. They were like, first off, wouldn't you be pissed off if your name was Bubbles and Pumpkin Spice?
She also calls Pumpkin Spice Poopkin. It gets worse.
I feel like I want you to get like a cat stands or
Okay,
something.
kitty condos.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be fancy. Like it can just be the
Just
thing
take some boxes together.
Yeah, but put them equal heights.
Oh.
Not one higher than the other. Would that help if they put one higher than the other? Because cats will show dominance by getting higher. So I feel like if we put them on an equal level,
right. They each have their own pedestals.
and they have
They're both lords.
They have their own. It'll help neutralize. Mine too went through crazy. Like Mona was a vicious attack cat. When my friend Cole moved out, he took his dog, and so it threw off the balance of the hierarchy, right? Because the dog was on the bottom, according to them three, like the dog was on the bottom. So when the dog left, and they both didn't have someone that they were competing by themselves.
They didn't have a common enemy.
Yeah. And so I had to go get Kitty Valium to rub in her ear. Like, amitriptyline, what that was called. So I think that putting them on even, unless you want to bring in a third, like another animal that they can. Okay.
Good advice. Who would have thunk that you just have to have like, a neutral perch that can solve it.
They also have like diffusers that you can put, like they have drops that you can put in their water.
Okay.
That's supposed to, I don't know what it emits, but it's supposed to be something that calms them. Well, it didn't work for me. It didn't work for them. I had to go to the vet and get like some drugs. But there are things that you can do. I think one of the key things is going to be separating. Like give them, if you have the space, like if they can have their own separate litter boxes, if they can have their own little stands, separate food bowls.
Right? Oh, what a bother!
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna help ease.
It'll help. Okay. Okay, and she actually, Lori, this is Lori again, and I'm going to go ahead and honor it. But she has her friend's cat named Molly, and Molly is very old, and she gets sick when someone goes on vacation. Is there something that they can treat Molly with to not flip out when somebody leaves?
I mean, you can. I honestly, I feel like that's a no. But
Okay,
that's just what the cat's
just how
gonna
she's
do.
going to do. Okay. Okay.
But I mean, that doesn't mean that you still can't talk to them,
Yeah.
right? And explain and just let them know, like I love you while I'm gone, just like I love you while I'm here. Like I love you. Um,
Okay.
but no, I don't think that there's anything that's gonna. I don't think there's anything that's gonna change that.
Okay, here's Layla LaBelle Huffman's question, and she's got a double one. She wants to know if Teddy and Penny will get along ever, the dog and the cat. She's probably dealing the same shit I am, has to reacclimate. But more importantly, I want this question answered more for her. Buddy is a third dog, a different dog, and is he in pain? Does he need help? Does he need something changed, his harness or anything? His back legs just don't want to go, and she doesn't know how to help
Yeah,
him.
I was thinking back leg issues. It doesn't. I feel like it doesn't feel like the harness is affecting.
Okay.
It feels like it's isolated towards the back, and it's not being inflamed or nothing external is causing. It's just specifically with his.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like it's happening because of the area, not because something's making it happen. So it's not like a harness that's created.
Okay.
It doesn't feel old, but I feel very stiff. Like it doesn't hurt. That's what I meant. Like it doesn't feel like
Okay.
it hurts, but it does feel like it's. What do you want to say? Like I can't move like I used to, right? Like I just can't. Like I can't move like I used to.
She says he's a distinguished gentleman. Maybe that means he's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, I love that. Distinguished gentleman. I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's like and that's the way it feels like. It just feels like I just can't. Like I can't do what I used to do anymore, and I feel very stiff. But no, I don't feel like I'm in pain.
Okay, well, I know this girl. I know that she knows how the world works. And Lynn, I'm going to suggest you send your puppy some sparkles. Do a little
Yeah, I was just
energy
thinking
healing on him. Yeah.
I practice on Mona.
Do you?
Yeah. Like, okay.
Okay. Oops. What did I just do? Okay, so this is my friend Jeannie Hall, and she had kind of like a rough turn for a while. She lost her husband and her son and her dog all at the same time. And so I'm going to make an exception this time, and I'm going to ask if Snoop has any kind of message for her. Maybe, if he's with her other loved ones.
Yeah. Major show up from that.
Ooh.
It feels like okay. I feel like I have 2 points of view.
Okay.
I feel like from her side, it's like with the dog. It's like, why did you leave me? When I needed you the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
I had you. Like you were the only thing that I had left, and you left me.
Yeah.
But I feel like this wasn't her dog.
It was the family's dog, her husband's or kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's the son. Like I feel like
He wanted to go back to his people.
Yeah, he's like, so in my mind, her response is kind of like that. Like, how can I deal with more? Like, I needed you. Not in mean like you left me, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, she's grieving, and when you grieve, you are in the place of victim. That's okay.
Whereas the dog energy is like, how could I stay? Like, how could I have stayed? Like, like. It's not that there's not love there, but it's like my person, like my person is here.
That touched my heart so much, and I think it's going to touch hers too. But I'm going to take a minute because this woman has made huge leaps and bounds recently in her own healing. She really did stay in a place of being a victim for a long time. But my surrender video, my Maui video, really hit home for her, and she's putting that into practice and moving forward. So I'm so proud of you, Jeannie. Keep up the work.
So did the son go first?
I can't really remember, but they were like back to back. The husband, the son, and the dog were all right there. I think the dog was the third one to go, though. So I think the son did go first. Her husband and son, I believe, were in the hospital at the same time. And this is all stuff that's on the internet. I'm not telling secrets.
Wow. Yeah, it feels like, when you're talking about, how she's finally like making these huge leaps and bounds, it very much is a feeling of like we're helping with that. Because it's hard, right? Like I can't even imagine.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like she's got a lot of support and help and love around her, and like helping her through. But yeah, so it's the dog is absolutely fine. The husband and the son are fine. But the dog was very much like, how could I
She will. I think she'll love that answer. I would love to hear that my dog had to leave me because my dog loved my child so much, and I want my child and dog to be together. That's very sweet. Okay, let's see here. Randy, I know that your kitty cat Tiger loves you. And
every time like somebody names their cat Tiger,
yeah.
I imagine in my mind it's a red cat, like those red. What are they called?
The tabbies, the striped tabbies.
Yeah,
yes.
Like a Garfield cat.
And Gayla Heflin, she has 3 cats: Snowball, Weasel, and Mama Gray. Oh, and Richard. Boy, she's got all kinds of cats, or had them. They are okay, and I bet they do come to visit. Set an intention for them to come and see if you feel their energy.
And the Snowball name jumped out.
Yeah.
So I feel like partly because I'm dirty. But I feel like the Snowball is the one that visits the most.
Okay. And why is that dirty? Is that a reference that I should know about?
I'm so God, you don't?
What is snow? Should I try it?
Yeah, you probably would like it.
Tell me. Do you want to tell me now or later? Okay.
Remember, I'm trying to not let I'm watching my content so it doesn't take away from the message.
Oh, yes, we got that lesson already, didn't we? Okay. Paulette. Our story is long, but I think he's still around our house. Could you ask? I don't need to hear that he is. I just think I've seen him. Do you want? Oh, does Lucky? Doesn't even say, are you a boy or a girl? Just a male. I mean, what kind of animal? Does Lucky have any messages for Pauline or Paulette Roberts? Is he walking around her house?
Yeah. So I feel like a fortune cookie. Yeah. The fact that you're asking for the validation means that there's something that's happened that has, and it was significant enough to make you ask, is this really happening? So the short answer is yes.
One time Eric said, if you stop to think if something is a sign, then just consider that it is. It got you to notice it. And I'm going to apply that same rule. If you're asking, then the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We sort of addressed this, but this is a little bit more specific. Yvette wants to know if cats have a spiritual function here on Earth. But here's another question we didn't ask. Are they multi-dimensional beings like some people claim? I don't even know what that means. Do you have a cat energy? You can ask if you're a multi-dimensional being.
They're just as much a multi-dimensional being like we are. Like we're multi-dimensional. I always, because I love the little cat people. I think they're called Lyrans. I call them the Thundercats.
I remember them.
Yeah, right. That's what it reminds me of. So I call them the Thundercat. So I think some people are like, oh, is that them in Earth form? Right? No, that's not it. Like it's like my cat is not an avatar for some cat alien man. But is there a specific spiritual thing for a cat? Well, no, it's no different than our
right. It's all different
purpose.
For everybody.
Yeah. But like there have been civilizations that worship, like Egypt. They worshipped cats, and is there?
Do you know why? Do you know why Egyptians?
In my mind, I'm like, is there some kind of galactic connection to where because this energy that they came in contact with reminds them so much of our cats. Like that's where the worship was, it a transference of, oh my God, look at this amazing cat god.
The Thundercat.
Yeah, Thundercat. So yeah, I mean, well, I feel like Mona was just like, why wouldn't you worship us? Why
That's
wouldn't you
the
worship
answer
us?
right now. We're cats. Of course you did. Duh.
Yeah.
You're looking for a deeper answer. It was too easy.
I love it. There's this meme. It's like a 4-box cartoon picture, and it's this cat watching this owner, and the owner's like cleaning the litter box, and the very last one, the cat sitting there, and it's like, that's right, you cleaned my shit up. And I was just like, that summed it up. That summed it up.
Well, we've been going on over an hour, but I have one more question on this page, and then I'm going to get rid of it. And if we can decide to do some more, I still have these leftover questions.
Okay.
Well, I have 2 more questions. Okay. So my soulmate, a black cat named Zinc, this is from my friend Kim Tripp, has been gone for years now, and I've never been the same. Are we really soulmates, and will she come back to me this life? Kim is missing her baby Zinc.
Yeah, I feel definitely will come back.
As Zinc or a different animal?
Cat will come back as another cat.
Okay.
But yeah, in a different cat body.
Oh, Kim, look for that recognition.
Yeah, but it's like I'm not gonna walk up on your door like when she gets ready to look for someone, like she'll be able to tell, like she'll know, like, okay, this is
the truth, because let me tell you about Soba, because I've been trying to manifest, or my kid they've been wanting a dog for a long time, and I laid down the law in their way. Well, they finally got old enough, and I said, okay, if you guys clean up all the shit and you take care of it, I'll go ahead and go with it. So for a year, I kept telling my kids, manifest the perfect dog for us, manifest the perfect dog. And I already know we have a soul connection. I already know this. So it's just so amazing to me the way that this dog waited to incarnate into the perfect breed near my home and be on a website that we would see. So Kim, start asking, manifest this kitty to come back to you, and then the universe will figure out a way.
I get the feeling like the cat. I mean, I know that she said that he left, but I feel like it's like okay, my job's done here.
Okay.
On to the next one. Not that he went and died. Like he maybe did now, but like not initially. Like he didn't leave and immediate die. It was like, okay, my job is done here.
Okay.
Like on to the next whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she knows that there's a connection, and that's what's going to, when she actively starts thinking about wanting to finally get another one and manifesting. She will absolutely, without a doubt, know.
Okay.
That's
so awesome. I love that.
She'll feel it.
Okay, and my friend Judy, she didn't ask me any questions. I'm going to ask on her behalf, because she is this is the one I was in Hawaii with, and she cares.
She's the one, she adopts the dogs.
She adopts the handicapped dogs, and I wondered if her dogs had a message for her. Wesley and
it's like love, like thank you. Because ultimately she's in a sense giving these animals a second chance.
It went away.
Yeah, my low battery came on.
Okay.
I got 20%.
We're almost done.
It's very much like you've given me a second chance at life. Like, thank you. But they're also helping her fulfill her purpose. Like that.
I totally feel that it is a true symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful the way that works out.
They are giving her the ability to fulfill her destiny, right? Like,
so awesome.
But they get as much from it. You know, she gets as much. It's a mutual. Like they get just as much out of it as she does.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I feel. They are truly a happy family. That's awesome. Okay, we have been going for like an hour and 20 minutes, and I appreciate the people that stuck through this, because I know that this was a long video and you really only got like your 1 or 2 minutes of information. So I kind of don't like doing these kinds of things for that reason alone, but I did try to hope that many people got benefited from other messages.
And again, I just want to reinforce that the overall is, even if you didn't get a chance to get your generic fortune cookie, yes, they love you.
Yeah.
That is, it very much is the truth. Like, um, they 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 do exist. They are okay. Yes, they come and visit you just like you hope that they do. If you're questioning, was that them? Then yes, it was. Um, and then the flip side of that is be aware of the random animal events that happen outside, because that could very well be your loved ones trying to make connections with you. And if you feel as though the bird that just flew across the street was your great great grandmother, then more
Then,
than likely it probably
yeah.
was, because
Yeah.
it made you think of them specifically. And even if it wasn't, when you think of them specifically, they come to you. It's like you're picking up a
Yes. So
Batman signal.
either way, it becomes a sign.
Yeah,
Whether you
yeah.
create it or they create it, it's still a connection. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Okay, I have like just a few pages of questions back. If we get a lot of positive feedback, let's
Okay.
finish this another day.
I really want to someone, if the Charlie
Yes.
golden retriever makes sense, let us
And
know. And
Ruby.
then the
Ruby the
horse.
horse.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you so much for this, Jason. Kind of
yeah.
bailed me out when I was in a tight spot. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So again,
welcome.
decide when I'm going to come bring you that bird because I'm ready.
Yeah, that's so sweet. I love it.
Okay.
My mom will cry. I'm like, she'll
Ah!
cry.
I will give her a squeeze for growing you so sweetly. All right, Jason, I'm going to stop this recording.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Thanks
Bye,
for
everybody.
your animal input. I love you.